You know why they put oxygen masks on planes? So you can breathe. Oxygen gets you high.
Evening, let me ask you, anyone fly in to see tonight's show? All right. Well, you're walking home.
You know, I just want to get on a plane and go away, but I can't because the door may blow off. This is a 737 MAX 9, the 72 Pinto of Boeing's fleet.
I want to talk about how Boeing is fucking America. This is Videos After Dark.
Boeing CEO David Calhoun reportedly held a staff-wide meeting yesterday after the FAA grounded dozens of its 737 MAX 9 planes. He said if you need to talk, his door is always blown open.
It's not quite dark, but the sun's going down fast. But I have to say, fuck Boeing.
Tough couple days for the airline industry. Last Friday, an Alaska Airlines plane had to make an emergency landing after a door panel popped off at 16,000 feet. But here's the deal.
Recently, this specific plane had a repeated pressurization fail light. And on those flights, the crew checked everything and then reset the light. You know, my dad taught me years ago, if the warning light on the dash keeps turning on, the problem isn't the fucking light.
Boeing comes out yesterday and claims that, no, there's not a problem with the door plugs blowing off our plane.
Gave alternative facts to that. But the point remains.
Wait a minute. Alternative
that
facts?
NTSB, or NUTSUB, has released its preliminary findings on the door popping off.
Some of the bolts were never installed.
Announcing the panel on the plane may not have been properly attached. You think? It reminds me of the NTSB's groundbreaking report on the Hindenburg kaboom. The good news. Now, the good news is that the bolts that should have held the door in place may not have come loose.
Trying to pin it all on one guy on the assembly line. Not the so-called hundreds of inspections that it's had since.
Possible the bolts were never even installed.
Life insurance pays off triple if you die on a business trip.
And this whole fucking thing goes back to George W. Bush deregulating the aviation industry. This bullshit of these companies being able to inspect themselves, being able to regulate themselves, being able to make sure they're following all the proper guidelines, restrictions, and or regulations, and they get to check on it themselves.
Let me tell you why nobody wants to talk to y'all, but it's because y'all lie.
Now, I know that sounds like a major screw-up, but they were just following the instructions. Put door on plane, wonder why you have leftover bolts, enjoy unlimited legroom.
In a catastrophic emergency, you're taking giant panic breaths. Suddenly you become euphoric, docile. You accept your fate.
This is bullshit.
To this fiasco, the FAA has grounded all 200 Boeing MAX 9 planes in the United States, saying it could take 4 to 8 hours to inspect each plane. Well, I think I speak for all travelers when I say, take your time.
It's time for a new regime. Yes, we need more government regulation. We need more inspections so that people don't get sucked out of the fucking plane. Because if somebody had been sitting there without their seatbelt on, they would have gone right out the fucking window.
Okay? Do not rush. Be thorough. We'll be at the Chili's too, pounding Spiceritas.
United found loose bolts on their doors.
Obviously, this is bad news for Boeing. So far this week, their stock is down 10%. Well, maybe their stock wouldn't have fallen if they'd remembered to put the bolts on it. Significant enough that the airline had decided the plane could no longer be used on flights to Hawaii. Sure, we wouldn't want the plane to crash into the ocean. Much safer for it to crash over a densely populated city.
Alaska Airlines said that this plane's own pressurization warning light had gone off 3 different times. So they stopped flying it over water. What the fuck?
Maybe somebody could catch it. Get a bunch of people stretch out a big blanket.
These planes need to be inspected, and they need to be done by somebody who's not invested in making a bunch of money off of it. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Y'all take it easy.
Speaking of crashing disasters, Donald Trump. The story is like eating a very spicy burrito. When you first get a taste, yes, it's shocking. But 24 hours, you realize, oh, this is going to do some real damage. You see, Trump's lawyers are arguing the Constitution affords him total immunity from prosecution for any actions he undertook as president. Yeah.
It's all right here. Emergency water landing 600 miles an hour. Blank faces, calm as Hindu cows.
A man in Portland recently found a working iPhone along the side of a road that is believed to have been on board the Alaskan Airlines plane. And honestly, I'm not sure what's scarier, having the door blow off your plane or losing your phone?